You're listening to the only podcast for Texas AirHogs and American Association Baseball. This is Hog Heaven with your host, Tim Costello, and co-host Zachary Lee. Welcome into Hog Heaven here on your AirHogs Broadcast Network. Take it away, Tim.
Welcome back into another episode of Hog Heaven. Hi, I am Tim Costello, joined this week with our general manager, Nate Gutierrez. And we apologize we didn't get a chance to come to you guys last week, but with the schedule release and then Nate going away to our GM meetings, we really just didn't have time to do the sit-down we wanted to do. So we're doing a special episode this week talking about this new exciting 2020 AirHogs schedule that Zach will put on the screen, different points through the episode here. But Nate, also, you're now the first repeat guest on Hog Heaven, so a pretty big honor for you as well.
Wow, that is news to me, and I'm honored to have that right. And I look forward to talking about the schedule with you. There's few people I enjoy talking to more. So,
well, you know, I appreciate it. I hope it's a small list, but like you said, a few people. So, if you haven't heard yet, AirHogs opening day, May 19th. It's a Tuesday, taking on the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks. And I know you don't want to talk a ton about the baseball that's going to be played yet. We don't know a lot of, who's on the team, things like that. But just looking at opening day in general as a baseball fan, Nate, that's a day where everybody's tied for first. They say hope springs eternal. The AirHogs have had some really exciting opening day games the last couple of years. This one went into extra innings in 2019. 2018, I think it was like a 2-1 or a 3-1 game we ended up losing. But 2 years in a row, great opening days, great atmospheres in the ballpark. We had almost 4,000 fans in the ballpark last year on opening day. What are you looking forward to starting the season off in May?
yeah, I think every year you have opening day, you look to improve on what you did the year before from a team standpoint, from a fan standpoint, trying to introduce some new features in the ballpark, trying to just create some new buzz for the new season. This week we start on a Tuesday. We've been starting on a Thursday leading into the weekend, so we get a few more days this week to start the season. Fargo's usually got a pretty good team. I guess the advantage for us is they start with this cold spring training. So hopefully they come down here a little rusty and we get off to a good start, and that sets the tone for the rest of the year.
One of the things you noticed this year on the AirHogs promo schedule is Scout Night. Early in the year this year, last year Scout Night, and traditionally had been in August, later in the year. One of the things we had talked about at the end of the year was, hey, let's move it when the weather's a little bit nicer, and it's one of the things you're doing this year, bringing Scout Night to May. Other than the weather, what was your thought process behind moving that?
Yeah, it's really one of my favorite nights. I mean, the overall concept of coming out, stay overnight at the baseball field, watch a movie, friends and family, and how that ties back into Scouts is we invite them out for them to kind of help with some of the outdoor life skills that we don't get to work on a traditional basis, knot tying, building fires, a little bit of archery. So it's a fun partnership where the Scouts get to teach us some life skills, and it's a fun event for the fans. They get to stay out overnight, camp, bring a tent, stay on the field. We usually have a nice little movie out on our brand new video board. And the idea was partially with weather. We decided that the weather might be a little better earlier in the year, but also it's right at the beginning of summer. I think the last day of school this year is on opening day for us, the 18th or 19th. Can't remember exactly. So for Scout Night to be on the 22nd, 3 days into summer, most people probably haven't started their vacations yet. It's a good opportunity to kick your summer off right with a night at the stadium.
And the AirHogs are kicking off their first weekend homestand with two really important days. I know these are days that mean a lot to you specifically. That first Saturday is Military Appreciation, and then the next day, the Sunday, is First Responders Day. So two huge days, days that get done every year, but ones that I know we don't take for granted when we get a chance to do days like this.
Yeah, I mean, so the 25th being Memorial Day is really just an overall Memorial Day, a military-based weekend as it is. And it's very important. I mean, we get to do a cool ceremony here. We do an enlistment ceremony. I believe one of the largest ones in North Texas. We invite all 4 branches or 5 branches to do an enlistment ceremony. Get to hear the oath, which is a really cool thing for those who have never heard somebody take a military oath. You really see the commitment they're making to the country, to the president, to protecting and serving this country. And it's cool to see on field and all military get in free that night. We welcome them. We honor them. Obviously, they are the reason we get to do what we get to do. So to give that, to use one of our nights to appreciate them is important to us, and we're gonna keep at it. The first responders, the same thing. I mean, the police and fire of Grand Prairie, even the EMT, are people that we rely on. I mean, we have police officers at our games every night. They come, they protect, they serve us, and for us to give back to them equally early in the season, first Saturday and Sunday, mean a lot to us, and we look forward to it.
And we move into June after the AirHogs take a road trip, a 4-gamer in Cleburne, 3 in Sioux Falls. They get a day off. They come back home starting June 2nd, taking on Sioux City. But on that homestand on the 6th, that Saturday, it's going to be Star Wars night. That's a night we've done a few years in a row here. It's kind of had some different vibes throughout the couple years that we've done it. What are you looking forward to with Star Wars night in the ballpark this year?
We're looking to entertain the nerds. You know me, I'm not a big movie person, so Star Wars doesn't hold near and dear to my heart like it does some of you other guys in the office. But I can already hear the rumblings going around the office, the characters that we're looking to bring out, the different activities we're looking to engage with the true fans, and just to kind of create that vibe, that Star Wars vibe in the ballpark. We're definitely going to play some Star Wars themed music. Hopefully we can get some characters from the fan perspective as well. Hopefully we get some fans to come out and dress up and engage their inner Star Wars and make it a nice, fun night with a lot of people's favorite movie.
AirHogs take another road trip. This time they head north to Fargo and Winnipeg before coming back home to take on Kansas City and Sioux Falls at home. During that homestand, a couple really fun nights. You have Scout's Birthday Bash on the 19th. If you've never been out to a Scout birthday party, you've never really partied, because if you haven't partied with Scout, you haven't partied at all, is really the way we look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. Mascot birthdays are ridiculously fun. They're creative. They're, for lack of better terms, cute. I mean, it's fun to get other mascots out from the other schools. And then to celebrate ours, though, which is even more fun. I mean, ours is the star of the show. It's nice to have the other guys, but Scout goes hard for his birthday, and we look to kind of build that environment around him.
It's a big weekend in general, Nate, because that Saturday is Halloween. Really, as a kid, you can't look forward to something more. Halloween, you get a chance to go get your candy, and you think you have to wait a whole year every year to do it. Well, you're wrong, because you can come back on the 20th of June, throw a costume on, and trick-or-treat here at AirHog Stadium.
Yeah, so naturally we don't play in October. We are our playoffs are actually finished by that time. Otherwise we would be, but we don't get to celebrate Halloween during our season, so we bring it back. We're going to do it June 20th this year. It's actually a great promotion idea for vendors too. I mean, vendors get to come out. We engage them with a free table as long as they bring candy for the kids. We provide either bag or bucket for the kids to go around and draw candy. Meanwhile, their parents walk around with them, engage the vendors. So that's kind of the premise of Halloween. But obviously, anytime we get to dress up, come out, engage your other side, if you will. It's fun, and we look forward to hosting it for the second year in a row now here. It went really well last year, and hopefully it gets even better this year.
Closing out that weekend, it's Father's Day on the 21st. We'll have a Father's Day game. We always let people on the field beforehand to do the play catch on the field. To me, that might be one of my favorite days that we host all year, Nate. The father-son bond of baseball is something that I was very fortunate to have growing up. I know you did as well. You were part of a baseball-loving family. So to be able to host Father's Day, to welcome the father, son, and daughter combos out to the ballpark, and to be able to provide in those memories means a lot.
Yeah, I think when you talked about the father-son bond of baseball, I mean, that is, when I think about the formation of the relationship between me and my dad, who was my coach, it was, I would say, probably 90% formed through baseball. The good, the bad. He taught me discipline through baseball. He taught me how to lose gracefully. He taught me how to win in humbleness. And there's so many life skills that can be taught through this game, and I think a lot of times you see it through a father-son relationship. So to have Father's Day for the second year in a row is extremely exciting. It's a great baseball day. It's a great opportunity to come out with your dad, play a little catch on the field, and then just overall embrace the day that is. I mean, you think a lot of the players on the field are going to be fathers, a lot of the coaching staff. Obviously, we have Billy, whose father means a lot to him, and it really holds well with baseball, what we're doing here from a family aspect. It's really a good night to come out. Or day game, sorry. Good day.
Yeah, going to be a 2 o'clock game that day. We're going to take a quick break right here as we're through June. We'll come back on the other side. We'll talk about July, August, and September. And then finally, before the program ends, we had a little bit of a tryout for the American Association here over the past few days. We'll talk about that, and then when your next chance to try out for the AirHogs will be, all here on this episode of Hog Heaven. We'll be right back after this.
Attention AirHogs fans, have you still not gotten your 2020 season pass? Well, why not? For only $150, you get in the gate for all 50 home games, including playoffs. That's just $3 a game. It's affordable fun the whole family can enjoy. For more information on season passes or booking your next group outing, contact Zach or Kelsey at zlee@texasairhogs.com or karmond@texasairhogs.com. We look forward to seeing you in 2020.
Welcome back. You are in Hog Heaven. We are still joined with the general manager of your Texas AirHogs, Nate Gutierrez. As we are whipping through this American Association schedule, we're getting in July, and starting July, we have one game on the 1st before we hit the road. And Nate, that's actually a road trip. That trip in July, we're going to St. Paul, and then we're going to Milwaukee. That's a trip you're actually taking with the team. Is there a reason why you want to go check out those two cities this season?
Yeah, I mean, St. Paul could be considered the premier fan experience in our league, and obviously that's something I want to learn from as a GM, stuff we can bring back here. We only go there once this year, so if I want to travel up there, might as well watch my team play. And the league did us a nice favor this year, putting us up there during the 3rd and 4th of July. So I'm sure they're going to do it right. I'm excited to head up there. The weather should be beautiful, but I'm also more interested from a fan experience perspective to see how they continue to innovate, continue to create new, fun ways to engage the fans, and if there's anything that we can bring back here, that's something I want to observe on.
And I'm happy that you recognize both the 3rd and the 4th of July are big days in AirHogs, celebration world.
Yeah, always. I mean,
so hopefully St. Paul celebrates my birthday. That's all I'm saying, Nate. Hopefully St. Paul, something big on the 3rd of July. Fireworks, happy birthday, Tim. Whatever they can do, a guy in town on his birthday, making sure it's fun for everybody.
I may know a few people. I'll see if we can do something special for you.
Thank you. I mean, it's not a lot, that's what we're asking for. But hey, then we're back in the DFW area, taking on the crosstown rival Cleburne Railroaders. Christmas in July is the 11th, that first Saturday that we're home in July. Really a fun concept. Again, you're halfway there, right? As a kid, it's so hard to make it all the way to another year for Christmas. So if you come out to the ballpark, it's you're halfway there. You get to experience a little bit of that Christmas pageantry in the middle of 100-degree summer.
Yeah, I think you hit on the fun aspect of it, is to bring out your Santa hat, your reindeer nose, to kind of re-engage Christmas in the summertime, which almost feels contradictory. But I think it's also a really good charity event for us. It's a toy drive, essentially, is where the concept comes from. If you bring a toy, you get a free ticket to the game that night. All our toys are donated to Santa Cop, which is a local Grand Prairie nonprofit program from the police department to help kids get toys out in this community. And I think it's being a community pillar. It's important for us to help give back to our community, either directly or indirectly. I would say this is more indirectly, but we're working with a nice local organization. It gives us a nice fun theme to work around, but at the end of the day, it's also giving back to the community through gifts. So
that homestand in the middle of July is also, Nate, our longest homestand, a 3-team, 9-game, 10 or 11-day homestand, depending on how you look at it. But we're going to have 2 weekends in that homestand, 2 Saturdays. So what's cool is we're also going to have come sail away day during that same homestand. The 11th is Christmas, July. The 18th, come sail away day. I think that might have been one of our more fun promo nights we did last year. I mean, heck, come out to a game, you might win a cruise is a pretty little incentive to come to an AirHogs game.
yeah, and by might win, we don't mean enter to win. It's literally coming.
Someone's leaving with a trip for 2 that day.
Yeah, it's coming here, fill out some raffle tickets. And not only are you entering your raffle tickets into the cruise, it's the concept of building up prizes each inning until we get to the grand prize, which is the cruise. So you actually have an opportunity to win something after every inning, which is pretty cool. And it builds up and builds up and it builds up. Obviously, you make it to the end of the game. You're hoping to win that cruise. Hopefully we get an AirHogs win. It's a really good night. We really appreciate our partners working with us on this one, because it takes a lot of prizes and different things to make this kind of thing work, and we rely on our sponsors for those kind of things. So we're appreciative. If you're looking to get involved, looking for ways to promote your business, it's a fun night to kind of build up, and we're always looking for different prizes. So
Next day is Disney Day. That's going to be a really fun day in the ballpark. We're encouraging all of our fans to dress up as their favorite Disney characters. But then we'll move on to that final home game of July the 31st. That's actually Harry Potter's birthday, and it's going to be Harry Potter Day here at AirHogs Stadium.
Yeah, and if I can give you a little lightning scar, you might.
I have a lightning bolt scar on my wrist, actually, a rec league basketball injury. A kid with braces latched on and unfortunately couldn't let go until I then had the Harry Potter scar.
Yeah, so now we'll just have you fly in on your broom into the ballpark that night.
I have a wand, Nate. I've made an official Harry Potter wand purchase. I'm ready for Harry Potter night.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun night. Obviously, they have a nice, rabid fan base around Harry Potter. There's been so many movies, so many different, just different engaging parts of that movie. And obviously, when you talk about Hogwarts, or the AirHogs, it's a nice little play on words there. Look forward to it.
Moving into August, not a ton of home Saturdays in August. A lot of weekday games, but just 2 home Saturdays. The one I am probably most excited about, there's been inkling that Scout isn't exactly happy with who's putting themselves out there to run for president. He says he may take some things upon himself. And I've been told to expect a major announcement on 8/1. I'm not sure exactly what it is. We've been told Scout 2020. We're not sure, but we know something big is going to be announced on the 1st of August.
Yeah, I can't really confirm nor deny those rumors, but from the mute conversations that we've had, I've heard there's some rumblings as well.
You'll have to be in the ballpark to find out exactly what Scout is planning for 2020. All we know is he's got something big in the works. And then the 15th, 2 weeks later, back to school night. That's one of those nights that I think is so important that the AirHogs do, where we make sure that any kid in the community that needs certain things to go back to school and have a successful school year, we're kind of here to help make sure that they get those school items.
Yeah, I mean, it gets back to that community pillar aspect of it. We do it for all the kids in the area because it's important for us to continue to support these kids, these communities, these schools, these teachers. In any way we can make it easier on the parents who are trying to buy school supplies, on some of the teachers that go out of their own pocket to buy school supplies for some of these schools. It's the same. It gets back to the same concept of the Hogoween. Is we bring in vendors, we allow them to set up their table for free, pass out their information on their business in return for one dedicated school item that we tell them to bring. They bring the school item. We provide a backpack at the front gate. They go around. They collect school supplies, hopefully enough to get ready to fill up for the whole school year. But if not, it's definitely a good start for them to go into buying school supplies and hopefully save them some money.
So one of the cool things, the AirHogs haven't had the chance to finish the season at home, at least since I've been here. I don't think in the time that you've been here either we've had that chance. So the final homestand of the season, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th will be here. The 5th, that Saturday, is Fan Appreciation Day. We've had a lot of days that we've said have been our favorites so far throughout this process, but this is another one that you put a big star next to because you finally get a chance to thank the fans who've been so great to you all year.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it's all about. This is why we do what we do. We do it for the fans. We do it to provide entertainment, to be a place where they can come and enjoy themselves. And this is just a nice way for us to give back to them. We usually do a nice giveaway item. We do a big kind of undoing of all of our promo items that are left from the year. We kind of just lay them all out on the table, say come pick at your choosing, because that is what it's all about. We really do appreciate these fans. We do appreciate them coming out and supporting, spending their money with us, but also just cheering on our players. It's nothing really more to ask than to come out and be a fan. And I think we use that day as a way to show them the appreciation that they deserve.
And then last but not least, of course, we're ending that season. Hopefully we're popping some champagne in the locker rooms after that final game of the year this year, Nate, on the 7th, Labor Day. What does it mean to you not only to have the Labor Day game, but to both start and end the season at home here in Grand Prairie for our fans?
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I think it gives a kind of a nice start and finish to our season. We play 100 games in 112 days. It comes and it goes fast. And sometimes when you don't finish the season at home, your season finishes, quote unquote, a few days earlier, but then the team is still playing. it's kind of a weird overlap to the season. In this case, it's nice to have that last regular season game here at home, obviously, in that you can push into the playoffs, whether it be that or it's just a good way to end with your fans until next season.
Well, that is the AirHogs 2020 schedule. Again, some really great promos. If you want to see another version of the schedule, airhogsbaseball.com. We'll have everything posted up there. We're going to take one more quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We want to talk with Nate a little bit more about a combined tryout that the AirHogs did over this past weekend and about what trying out for an independent baseball team really means. We'll be right back with you on Hog Heaven after this.
Attention AirHogs fans, have you still not gotten your 2020 season pass? Well, why not? For only $150, you get in the gate for all 50 home games, including playoffs. That's just $3 a game. It's affordable fun the whole family can enjoy. For more information on season passes or booking your next group outing, contact Zach or Kelsey at zlee@texasairhogs.com or karmond@texasairhogs.com. We look forward to seeing you in 2020.
Welcome back. You are in Hog Heaven, our third and final segment, joined with the AirHogs general manager, Nate Gutierrez. And Nate, we had a pretty cool little event this weekend that bled over into today and tomorrow as well. The Frontier/Can-Am League, the Pacific Association, and now the Premier American Association League have kind of come together and done a little bit of a tryout. What was it like to kind of get that joint effort put together and have something like that at our ballpark?
Yeah, I think all the teams in those leagues are always looking for ball players to improve their team, and those come from a wide variety of places. I mean, some of them come right off the street for a guy that took a few years off. Some of them come from second opportunities, and some of them are guys that have come over from the Winter League or whatever, and they're looking for that opportunity to showcase in front of some of these teams, including there was not just us in our league, but there was another representative of the American Association. When you do consider us to be the premier independent league, this is a good opportunity for a lot of players to take that next step from whether it be college, whether it be the Pacific Association, whether it be the next step in their career back to affiliated baseball. This is an opportunity to come out, play in front of these coaches, as we are always looking. I think that's just the reality of the situation. There's never a bad opportunity to come to a tryout for other coaches that are in leagues such as our own, because there's spots to be given out.
Absolutely. And what's the process like of getting 10, 12 different coaches in one place at once? I know our league, one of the great things about being the premier league like we are, we stretch from Texas all the way to Canada. So in the off season, it's sometimes a little bit harder to get those guys together. But when you have a trial like this, that's what's nice, is those guys are all together.
Yeah, I think we all have the same goal, right? So I think that kind of, when you're throwing it out there to the other coaches, they're kind of like, what's in it for me, no matter what you're discussing. So in this case, I'm providing something that you do want, you do need. While it's an opportunity for us to bring players into our backyard, it's also, Dallas is a great location for travel, for transit. I mean, if you were to come in from out of state, we have airport access. So I think from the other teams, it's not as easy to get guys up to Indiana, and those places have weather concerns at this time of year too. So I mean, there's some other places that aren't as accessible as Dallas that these teams are currently using as a hub for players to come look at. I mean, if that kind of makes sense, it's we have a great facility here. We have turf. There's no weather concerns. So I think this just makes a lot of sense location-wise, and then from a goal perspective, they're trying to find players. I mean, they want to find players. And when you position yourself to doing it with the American Association, you're literally looking to try to get that next quality of players that maybe wouldn't have just came to a Can-Am tryout or a Pacific League tryout. So it's a good opportunity for them to go look at better players as well.
One of the things that I think sometimes people get a little scared of with a professional baseball tryout is the fact that it costs money, right? But at the same time, every professional tryout you see does cost money. Why is that the case? You've been in the industry for a bit. You understand the way it works. Why do professional baseball teams essentially have to charge money for these tryouts?
Well, I mean, from a team perspective, we have some costs to incur, right? So, I mean, you talk about getting some of these coaches here. We don't put all that expense on them. We try to help them facilitate this trial because it's important for us to get other coaches here too, to kind of validate to the players that there are real opportunities here. So there's some costs in that. We have some stadium costs of just opening up the ballpark. There's some costs involved. Lighting has some costs. Field maintenance guy. So there's some costs involved from a baseline perspective of why we charge. But I think it is really an opportunity to take your career to the next level. And I think with anything, sometimes you want to take your career to the next level, whether it be conference, whether it be skills training, development, whatever it may be. There's costs of really taking your career serious and taking it to the next level, and I think that's part of why we do it for the tryout. We want to make sure that we are getting guys who are serious about taking their career to the next level, serious about what they're doing here, and so we don't just have random people coming up, walking up, who have never played before, so on and so forth, because we don't want to waste our time. We're really looking for guys who can play at this level, who have the skills, previous experience, and we're not talking a heap load of money either. I mean, we're talking it ranges obviously, but from a 1-day tryout to a 4-day tryout, but we're talking small amounts to further your career in a big way.
If you had a chance to, unfortunately, you didn't have a chance rather to make it out to this tryout, the AirHogs themselves will typically hold a spring tryout. What is that process like? Why is it important to you to make sure that the team still has that tryout every single year, just looking to make sure that we get everything we can out of the local area?
Yeah, we're trying to get better every year. I think we're trying to get better every year, and we don't have the resources to travel around year round and dig out the players from the caves. So I think we have to.
Are you not going to the Dominican to do some winter league scouting this year, Nate?
I might go to the Dominican for the beach, but I mean, just the truth. I mean, there's so many ball players. They come from such a variety of places. We have connections. We try to spread as wide as we can with our resources, but they only go so far. So I think when you think about guys that view themselves as hidden gems, view themselves as not connected in the industry, which a lot of people believe is the ticket into some of these teams. When you're not connected, you don't have the resources, whatever the case may be, this is an opportunity to come out and get in front of the team. And there's no denying it. I'll be here. Billy will be here. Our coaches will be here. Everybody that you could want from an organizational standpoint to see you will get that opportunity. People send us tape all the time. Agents send us messages, and those are great. The reality is we have a lot going on, and I don't get a chance to view them every day. I know Billy doesn't get a chance to view them all the time, and so but for our tryout, we're very engaged. We're here. We're on the field. We're present. We're trying to look for the next wave of talent. And so I think it's important because if you really want to play in this league, whether it be for our team, whether it be for another team, I think you should take the opportunity to go to as many tryouts as you can, because you just never know what teams are looking for, what skill sets are looking for to complement what they already have.
We'll definitely announce the date of that tryout as you get a little bit closer. Typically, it's towards the end of April. If you have any questions, reach out to the AirHogs Facebook page or karmond@texasairhogs.com, and Kelsey will get you all lined up with our tryout. Nate, we appreciate you taking on the 3-segment appearance with us today. I know you probably had to slam a little 5-hour energy before you came on with us for a longer appearance like this, but I think it was fun to be able to talk about the schedule and really, for the first time, I think we get a chance to look forward to that 2020 season.
Yeah, I can't express it enough how forward I look. I mean, how much I'm looking forward to next season. It's really my first full year as a GM. Obviously, you can see we've kind of lined out the promos. There's a lot of exciting stuff to look forward to. We have a really nice schedule set up. A lot of good homestands, a lot of good weekends, Father's Day. There's a lot of things to look forward to in the schedule. And I look forward to watching the team play. I mean, it's only been 3 months or 2.5 months now, but you just miss it. I mean, we work at the ballpark every day. We show up, and you miss you miss the fans, you miss them playing every night. So I hope it comes fast, but not too fast.
Well, we appreciate everybody who joined us, as it was, again, another phenomenal episode of Hog Heaven. Again, we thank Nate Gutierrez for sitting in with us. We're going to take a break next week for the holidays, but we'll be back the following as we continue to roll along. We appreciate everybody who joined us as you were in Hog Heaven.